What is going on, guys? Dicker here, back with another video. Now, first I want to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed to the channel, because we have officially reached the goal. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of summer, and we have done that. We're over 1,000 subscribers at the moment, so thank you to everyone that has subscribed. But yeah, overall, you guys know what's going to be happening today, and that is that we are going to be installing a turbo intake hose. Now, I've been trying to find one of these for a while for the MK4s. It's been quite difficult, such as most mods for the MK4s. Now things are creeping in slowly, which is great, but I actually changed the turbo inlet pipe on my MK3, if you guys ever saw it, and it sounded better. The turbo was breathing better. There was more cold air going into it, which is beneficial for the car. So we're going to be removing the stock pipe at the moment for the turbo, and we're going to be installing Ramair's version of it. Black. I went for the black silicone one. I was going to go red, but I'm trying to go a bit more stealth mode. I mean, yeah, I think the black looks a lot better, a lot tidier. We do need to go clean the engine bay. We're going to do that because it's looking a little bit dirty. Then we'll commence the installation. Now I've got it in here, you guys can see. So yeah, looking forward. Hopefully it's not that difficult, but yeah guys, let's go and let's get this installed.
Okay, so here's the dirty engine bay we need to clean up. One thing I really do like about the MK4s is the physical setup of the engine. I think it looks really nice, really neat, and there's a lot of potential, especially with the ideas that I have in mind. So let's get all this cleaned up, looking nicely, and start the installation of the turbo hose. And there you go, one clean engine bay. It feels nice having a clean engine bay. I definitely want to get this properly detailed one day.
Alright guys, so this is the new hose, turbo intake hose that we've got here for the car. Again, like I said, it's Ramair. Gonna put it out. As you can see, it's a lot bigger. It's gonna have a lot more airflow inside here to be able to enter. So the turbo is going to be getting a lot more air into it, which is exactly what we want, especially cold air, which is going to help the turbo perform better as well. So I've got another, because mine's a later model, I've got a couple of hoses I need to remove to be able to reconnect. So yeah, so that might be a bit fiddly, but we're going to give it a go and see how we get on with the installation. So let's get on with installing this.
Okay guys, so first step we need to do is we need to remove the clamp here on the hose, which is connected to the airbox. Once we remove that, there are two T30 bolts underneath closer to the turbo, which is a little bit tricky to get, and then we need to remove some of these hoses. So let's get on with first, of course, removing the clamp. Now this type of engine has two hoses that need to be removed. Now you can't just yank it like some older engines. You have to ensure that you press this little rigid parts of the hose adapter. You have to press them in hard and then you pull, and then they can easily be removed. Okay, so this part was very fiddly because I couldn't really see the T30 bolts, so I had to do it all by touch, and I accidentally ended up taking out the wrong bolt out. However, once I took the hose out, I just put that bolt back in and all was sweet. Another thing, make sure that when you pull out the turbo hose, there is a rubber ring inside the turbo. Make sure that's still in there. If it's popped out a little bit, just push it back in, as you're going to need that. So you guys can now see side-by-side comparison of the old turbo hose pipe with the new turbo hose pipe. As you can see, the new one is a lot bigger, less restrictive. Now this part in here, which you guys can see, which connects to the turbo, now we have that separate. We need to attach that first before connecting the new turbo hose pipe. But before we do anything else, we need to remove this T-shape adapter to install it into the new turbo hose. This is going to allow us to reconnect those two smaller hoses to the turbo hose pipe and ensure that whole air is circulating right. So this was quite a tricky job. I had to use a flathead screwdriver to assist me, but once I got it off, I realised it had these two clips. When I tried to insert it into the new turbo hose, it just wasn't fitting properly, so I ended up snapping those two clips, which I didn't need. Then I used the O-ring to tighten it up, and then the fitment was perfect. So now it was time to put it all together. The first thing was to do is to put the adapter to the turbo. Now I did hand screw it first, the T30 bolts, and then I tightened it with the ratchet, ensuring it was obviously tight and secured. Then of course it was to put in the turbo hose pipe. Now this got a little bit tricky because, you know, you're trying to work around the engine and there's bits everywhere, like all other parts, and you're trying to squeeze your hand in to tighten things, but eventually we did manage to get it on, which was great. But yeah, it did take a while, so take your time on it, guys.
Alright guys, so that's the turbo hose installed. So it's a bit weird, I thought it was meant to go all the way in, however there's a rim of the hose that sections it off, so how far we can physically go in. So it's a bit tricky first tightening these, and then let me show you guys, try and tighten there at the bottom, as you can see there just I'm trying to get it focused right now where it's focusing, guys. See the ring that was moving a little bit, that's pushed in all the way in, that's not a problem. These hoses as well, they're all connected as well, how they should be originally. I did test the engine, gave a bit of a rev, does feel a little bit different, it's a bit more punchy, takes off. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go on a little drive, warm up the engine first, go on a little drive and see how it's doing. Alright guys, so we're about to head off right now. I'm praying to God that everything is great, there's no issues. Right now I'm on normal drive, I'm not on sport. See how that handles. I mean, I'll say maybe it could be a placebo effect maybe, but I'll say it sounds a little bit raspier. Not massively different, just a little bit. So the fastest we're going to go, to be honest, is about 40. That's as fast as we're going to take it, just because that's the closest road where we could do the fastest speed around my area. So we're about to hit the 40. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive it normally forward and then potentially drive back in sports mode. Okay, I'm just letting the car in front of me just go a little bit forward, just so I can put my foot down a little bit. Okay, so I just did just a normal drive. Obviously my car's a DSG, I just did it in drive. It picked up quite good, to be honest. Picked up a little bit better, I'll say probably about 15-20% better than what it usually does on drive. Drive's not as fast, I'm always driving it on eco. What I think is, there's a test up there. I think what we're going to do is go up there, I'm going to change everything to sport to see how it actually feels, because that's where everything's a bit more, I would say, responsive, I guess. Drive profile, okay, so we put everything in, okay, everything's in sports now. Okay, so gear shift, steering, anything else, suspension, everything's on sports. Okay, so this is where we are going to head back out into that road, to that 40 mile per hour road. Okay, one thing I just noticed different, I just put my foot down there a little bit. Usually on the old one, when I was in sports, I used to put my foot down, it used to be like, woo, like the air was getting trapped. But on this one, it did not make that sound. Okay, there's no one behind us, letting the car in front of us go forward. Just put the foot down. There we go. Yeah, that was, it's a lot more responsive, guys. A lot more responsive. Before it used to do a vacuum sound, almost like the air's being trapped. But like I said, it's not doing it on this one. It's like the air is actually going through the turbo now, so the turbo is almost like it's absorbing all the air that's coming through, which is great. We're going to do a U-turn and then go back out on that road and just try it one more time before we head back, guys. Let's Go try that one more time, guys. Getting everything sport. Says 40. Let me go inside here. I think there's a car park. We're going to do a quick little U-turn on this one as well. It is a little bit more responsive. Again, one thing I like about it is the physical air is not being trapped anymore. Before I could hear it, the air just bouncing off, being trapped, and the turbo not really absorbing it. But now I can tell the difference. It doesn't make that vacuum sound anymore. I don't hear as much swirls as I did on my MK3 when I changed the turbo inlet pipe, but it's a good difference, responsive. Just let the car in front of me go a bit more forward, just so we can put on things there. Yeah. You guys probably can't feel it or see it, but obviously I drive this car every day and I can feel how responsive it is. Well guys, that is a turbo hose bike fully installed for you. I really do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I enjoyed it, to be fair. It took me a couple of hours to get it installed, but it's finally done and I want to get my hands on doing a bit more things myself. So I'm kind of proud and happy that I was able to do that myself, and that everything's working well. Turbo's getting the airflow inside, so it's fantastic. But yeah, I want to say another huge thank you to everyone that has been subscribing to the channel. We're slowly growing, we're getting there, guys, so I appreciate you guys can keep on subscribing, keep on liking, keep on sharing the channel, because as we grow, we're just going to be doing bigger videos, better things, and then yeah, it's going to be fun, guys. It's going to be a fun ride. But anyway, guys, that is it. Take care, peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.